Well, hello, and good evening. And welcome to Friday Night Ghost Stories on the Guild. Before we get started, I just want to make a couple of points here. First off, I have a new promo that you see in front of you right now. What do you think about it? I think it's pretty cool. My new intro page here, which I promised weeks ago that I was going to do a what do you call a new intro, and I'm going to do it. I promise that I will do a new intro, and this is going to be part of it. So I think this is pretty cool. What do you think? I like it. I like it. Lenny likes it. Anyway, but let's take a trip with me. Well, first of all, thank you for joining me. Welcome to the library, as they say, as I always say. And let's take a trip to North Carolina to hear about some of their ghosts right after this intro. So here we wait, where'd it go? Hold on a second. Where's my no, not that. What is going on here? Okay, here we go. All right. Let's get rid of that. I see we have 18 people in the chat, which is awesome. Let me just say hello to everyone real quick. But before I do that, I'm going to have an ask of you guys. Lenny, you're sleeping on the job here. What's going on? Lenny's taking a nap here. As you can see, he is dressed appropriately for tonight's theme, right? Tonight's story. Blackbeard is the main character here, the main draw, and he's got his little tricorner hat on. What do you think? Yeah, he needs it like that. There you go. So, thank each and every one of you for joining. I really appreciate it. James Simpson, how are you? Patrick Ortega, how are you doing? Dave from Boston is here. Tony, the Night Owl, is in the house. Gerard, my friend from upstate New York, is here. Arlene Merlino is here. Chris Trock here. Bill C is here. Patrick Ortega, I think I said already. BK Skip stopping in. Nice to see you. Crew Mel, good to see you. Dylan, how are you? Todd Father, my friend, you are here. A bunch of people here tonight. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. And Lenny, where are you going? What are you doing? Anyway, um, let's see. Gina is here. Good to see you, Jeannie. Bobo, Arlene. I think I said hello to you already, but I'll say again, Arlene. And Theme Doom, my brother, is still actually up and not sleeping. It's amazing. Thank you for joining. Emmanuel Spataro is here. Spataro. Did I miss anybody? Stegs, of course, is here. He's always here. I think I hit everybody. That's awesome. Thank you all, each and every one of you, for stopping in, spending some time with me. I hope you enjoy what I have for you tonight. I'm excited about it. I have a lot of things to show you. Deborah Roberts, I'm sorry I missed you, but I got you now. All right. I just have an ask of everyone. Please hit the like button. Hit that like button now. Take 2 seconds and hit the like button. If you're in the chat, hit the like button. I should have 24 right now, if that's the case. I see 24 people in the chat. I should have 24 likes. All right. Now, Lenny, what on earth are you doing? Stand up straight. There you go. That's better. Spirit is here. Good to see you, Spirit. James Simpson, before I do anything else, James Simpson, I'm sorry I could not make your live. I hope it went well. I was moving my daughter into college, so I just was unable to attend at that time. And I just got home in time to do the show. I was a moment there where I thought I wasn't going to be home in time. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm glad I made it home. But I hope you had an excellent show. I will definitely go back and watch it. So shout out to James Simpson for doing a show today. That's awesome. Welcome to the club of content creators. That's awesome. All right, so let's do our usuals, right? Let's light our candles because we cannot have this without candlelight. And I'm not using just out of ease, I'm just using the lighter today. Usually I do the matches like Gerard said, but today we'll do a little bit different. 26 people, that's awesome. Thank you, guys. We get to 30? I'm going to be like Stiggs and say, can we get to 30? Can we get to 30? I want to see 30. Which doesn't make much sense to me because you're talking to people that are already in the chat. How can they go up? How can you be, by saying that, how can that go up? You'll be talking to people that don't even know you're in here. So it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's Stiggs for you. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Slim, how are you, my friend? Osada, good to see you. All right. Awesome. All right, I got a lot of stuff for you tonight. So let's get started here. There we go. That's better. All right. So North Carolina, that's where we're going today. And I have 3 stories for you. The headliner's Blackbeard, but he'll be our last. And then after that, if you stick around, I have a couple of things I want to show you. One is something that was submitted by Gerard Siccelli, a ghost photo that he took, well, his trail cams took in his yard. We're going to show that. I'm going to ask you what you think about that. And then I have another video that I pulled off the internet of a boy in a crib. And I'm going to show you what happens. You tell me what you think of it. All right. So hang around for that. That'll be fun. All right. Let's get to the stories. Let me just get a drink and we'll get right to the stories. Why am I talking so fast tonight? I don't know. It's weird. I might have Stiggs disease, whatever that is. But I don't even drink coffee. I mean, I didn't caffeine at all. I don't drink coffee, and I didn't even have any tea today. All right, so let's talk about our first ghost area or ghost story. We're going to go to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The place in question is called the Brookstone Inn. Now, this building was built in 1837, so it's a pretty darn old structure. And obviously, when that happens, there tends to be a lot of spirits in there. So let me show you what it looks like. Hold on a second, excuse me. Let's get it. Here we go. All right. Here is what the Brookstone Inn looks like. The Brookstone Inn in Winston-Salem, built in 1837. You can stay there now. It is an inn. And I want to show you one of the features of the inn, or the attraction of the inn, is that it has brick walls in just about all of the rooms. So that's pretty cool. And it links directly to one of the stories, to the stories. Here, this is what it looks like. So if you go there and you rent a room, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get, this is a double bedroom. It's brick. The whole building is brick. So you have these brick walls. It's quite amazing. You don't run across that today. It's because it's such an old building. Shannon, how are you? Good to see you. Gerard is here. Hello, Gerard. Cicelli. Why am I saying Ceratelli? That's dumb. Okay. All right. Now, the Brookstone Inn. Now, this was originally a cotton mill. Over the years, it's changed. And it eventually turned into an inn, which it is now, and it has been for many years now. Now, this place is said to have haunted by multiple spirits. And the first one is a female spirit by the name of Sally. Now, Sally has quite a tragic story behind her because she was a worker here in the mill. And supposedly there was a confrontation between her and another woman on the fourth floor. And this was in the early 1900s when it was still a mill. And confrontation happened. They got into a fight and she was pushed off the elevator shaft to her death. Now, she was on the fourth floor when this happened, and it is said that ever since then, her spirit has remained, and many have seen her. Specifically on the fourth floor, which is where all the fight took place and everything, where she fell, and particularly in room 401. Now, if you stay there, many have encountered screaming in the middle of the night, waking up and hearing a woman screaming, and it's thought to be that Sally screaming, falling into the elevator. What she screamed as she was pushed, actually not falling, she was pushed to her death in the elevator. Some have seen the full body apparition of Sally walking the halls on the fourth floor. And they say that she wears a gray dress and that she has wiry red hair. So it's not your typical white lady, which we hear over and over again. We hear that ghost a lot. This woman is in gray with red hair. It's quite an interesting sight to see, I would think, because it's not the usual that you would expect. Now, some have even claimed to have woken up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason and find her standing over them as they slept, staring over them. And then as they jump up, she vanishes. So quite a scare or a jolt to anyone who wakes in the middle of the night and finds this ghostly figure at the foot of their bed just staring at them. There have been also, that's Sally. She's the first ghost. There's also supposedly a gang of little ghosts, a gang of children, all in nightgowns, kind of like the 19th century looking nightgowns, running and playing in the halls. That people have seen them as a group running and playing in the halls, giggling, laughing, running up and hearing their feet tapping as they run up and down the halls at night. So spirits of children that I would assume have died there and are still playing out their days together in the other world. And the final ghost is one by the name of Eddie, and no one really knows exactly where Eddie came from. But the story goes, those brick walls, like I showed you. Now, it is said that when they were refurbishing this from a mill to a tavern or an inn, when they were changing it over, they were refurbishing it, doing it together. Hey, Cranky, hello. Thank you for joining. Great to see you. Let me show you that again. Let me show you the walls again. See, the walls of this brick walls. Now, remember, the whole place is brick, as I showed you from the outside view. So they said that when they were refurbishing it, they were knocking down some of the brick walls, and behind the brick wall, they found a human skeleton. And it is said that that is Eddie's fate. For somehow, they don't know how, Eddie was buried behind the walls in this basically trapped and died there. And it is said that ever since they opened up and took the skeleton out, there has been a lot of activity around the, where they in the walls, and people who hear they hear things whispering coming from the wall. So in other words, they'll wake up in the night and they'll hear whispering, and they won't be able to place where it is until they get close to the wall, and it sounds like it's coming from the other side of the wall, but there's nothing but brick there. So it's believed that his spirit is still stuck behind those walls, whispering, trying to get out. Now, what a miserable death that might have been, could have been, or would have been, to have been walled up and then just died there. And then, nothing's left but his skeleton. So those are the three main ghost stories of the Brookstone Inn in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. There's been many orbs pictures too, like when paranormal investigators and enthusiasts have gone there and looked and taken pictures, and a lot of orbs have shown up on these pictures, and I believe I have a picture of them. Hold on, let me see what I can do here. I think I have it, and that's not it. All right. Where is this picture? I know I have it here somewhere. I thought I had it here. What happened to it? It is missing. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, maybe I don't have it. That's a bummer. It was a picture of orbs and taken in the hallway. And it looked pretty cool. It was a pretty cool picture of the orbs, but I don't see it here. That is not cool at all. All right. Well, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? That's how it goes, I guess. If I can pull it up while we're talking, I'll do that. Let's see if I can find it again here. So that is how, those are the three stories of our first site in North Carolina. Now let me just search for this real quick, if I can. Bear with me. I don't know why this happened. I had everything lined up. Photo. So anyway, so the next story is the demon dog. Now this one is creepy. This one is not necessarily a ghost, or maybe it is a ghost or a spirit or some type of paranormal creature. Cryptid, I guess you call it. And it's quite a chill part of this story is kind of chilling. So, all right. And one more here. One more try to get this picture of the orbs. One more try. I don't know why it did not come up. It's pretty lame. Yeah, I don't know. I give up. I'm sorry, guys. I had it too. I had it prepared and it's gone. I do not know what happened to it. It vanished. So that's pretty lame. Anyway, so let's move on to the demon dog. All right. So the demon dog is located or hangs out, I guess, is in the old stone cemetery in Valley Crocus. Now that means, that's Latin for Valley of the Cross, and it's a town in North Carolina. And there's a church. It's a St. John's Episcopal Church, and there's an old cemetery. It's called the Old Stone Cemetery. Now, this was built in 1862, so it's very old. And the demon dog supposedly just appeared immediately when things, as soon as the church was built. So it's kind of interesting. There's accounts of the demon dog going back to 1862. And it turns out there's several people at that time had died in the woods around the church from animal attacks. And the preacher of the church at that time, the reverend, had claimed that he witnessed the devil dog, the demon dog, I guess, the demon dog, not a devil dog, the demon dog attack these people and take their lives. And so this began, the sightings began. Literally, as soon as the church was built, this began. So it's been around quite a while. And over the years and over the century, century and a half, people have been seeing this dog appear. And it was the St. John's Episcopal Church. Let me show you a picture of it so you get an idea of what we're talking about here. All right. All right, here it is. Quite a very unassuming little cemetery next to an old church out in the wilderness. And it's along Route 194, Highway 194. So it's in a kind of a rural area. And the stories have been going on for many years about the demon dog. So the main story, though, that you hear is about two men in their 20s who were driving along Route 194, coming along past the church, and it was midnight. And it was a clear evening, like one of those clear, crisp evenings where the moon was shining. It was a full moon. So you could basically see, as if it was some daylight. When it's a real full moon and then the sun is shining off of that moon, reflecting onto the earth, it gives a lot of light. So they could see a lot what was going on. And as they're driving past the cemetery, the driver catches in the corner of his eye a shadow dart out from behind one of the tombstones and jump in front of him into the road. I mean, it was a black image that jumped out in front of him. So he, of course, veers the car in an effort not to hit whatever jumped in front of him. Screeches on the brakes and pulls over to the side. And when he does, he looks behind him, and what he sees shakes him, really, really shocks him. And it was what he described it as is a huge black dog with glowing red eyes and huge teeth. But it was a dog of giant proportions, and it was as tall as a man. So it's on four legs, a dog on four legs, but it's as big and as tall as a man. And at this point, he turns to his companion and says, "Did you see that?" And he says, "No, I didn't see it, and you didn't see it either. Let's get out of here." So as they're doing this, they see the demon dog begin to approach the car. They jam on the gas and take off. And as they take off, they're going pretty fast, 60, 70 miles an hour. They see in the rearview mirror the dog is chasing them and keeping pace with them. And it's just to the point where they're destined, they feel they're destined to be caught by this creature. He's about to grab, his teeth are about to grab the bumper of the car when suddenly they go across this bridge. And as they go across this bridge, the dog ceases as if it won't cross the bridge. And they go across the bridge, they stop, and they look back, and the dog kind of vanishes. So I guess the dog couldn't go beyond a certain period of time or area. He couldn't cross that bridge, much like the headless horseman can't cross the bridge in that story. This demon dog cannot cross this bridge. So it's an interesting tale about the demon dog of Valet Crocus. Let me just say, some people coming in, hello, have a story, good to see you. It looks like I have a story. Might be a troll. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Besides, they help the MREs slide through. I don't know what that is. So, Devil dogs have been around for a while. Oh, okay. So you're not okay. So you're actually talking about something. Okay, sounds good. All right. um. So anyway, um, I'm sorry, I'm not watching the chat. I only, I do my stories, and for those of you that are new here, I don't really watch the chat until I'm done with the stories. So anyway, so this tale has gone on for quite a while, and it is said that also, and now the sightings have happened again and again, and it's always the same. The dog will come and chase the car as you're going past. The dog will come out of the cemetery, and it's as if you're summoning the dog as you're driving past. It runs out and chases after you. And then some say that you can go there and you can, if you have the guts, you'll whistle for it. You'll whistle for the dog. You'll whistle and see if he comes up. And at times he will rise from the depths and appear before you. But I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get into if you do that. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But that's the demon dog. It's an old story going back 150 years, and it seems to be coming up again. Every now and then it'll come up again. So interesting tale there. So that's number 2, the demon dog. So we had the Stonebrook Inn and the demon dog. Now let's get to our final one here. Before I do that, let me see what I got here for you. Oh yeah, let me show you another picture of the cemetery. This is another of the old stone cemetery. So hold on, let me just show you this real quick. This is another picture of an old stone cemetery. Cemetery. What am I saying? There we go. This is it, and you can see the North Carolina, range in the background there, the mountain range in the back. It's this typical mountain cemetery, out in the wilderness, out in the rural part of the country. Right for the dog to come out of nowhere. And of course, no one has ever filmed it or anything like that, but countless accounts of it. So there's got to be something to that story. All right, stop sharing. There we go. All right, so let's get to our main one here, which is Blackbeard, the pirate. And as you can see, Lenny is ready for the pirate story. He's been waiting for this. He's got his tri-corner hat. He doesn't have his patch or his, his swashbuckling sword, but what can you do? He's got what he's got, right? All right, so Blackbeard. Now, those of you, I'm sure many of you heard of the pirate Blackbeard. Now, his real name was William Teach, and he was an Englishman, and he was a rogue Englishman because he started out as a privateer, and the privateers were established by Britain to raid Spanish ships at the time, because the Spanish were the king of the Americas at that point. So, and they had tons of gold on the ship. So the King of England would commission these pirates as privateers to go out and raid the Spanish ships. And he did a lot of his work from the years 1716 to 1718. So just 2 years. But in that 2-year span, he did a lot and became really famous. And as you could say, he wasn't really, as they say, a bad person. He wouldn't kill. He wasn't out to kill people. What he would do is intimidate many of them to the point where there wouldn't even be a battle most of the time. And it was all done with smoke and mirrors. And one of the things was the intimidation of how he looked. And he would put things in his beard that would smoke. He would light them, and it would look like he was on fire. That his beard was smoking, and like all these tactics he would use for fear. And he had such a reputation that many of these ships, there would be no fights. They would just turn over. They would just surrender their cargo and ship to him, and he would take it, and he would just dump the people onto the nearest shore. So no one would get killed. And he did this mostly now the problem with Blackbeard is that he had turned on the English and went out for his own self. He went out to get whatever was in it for him. He wasn't turning over booty to the crown. He was keeping everything. So he became an enemy of the crown. And in 1718, the governor of North Carolina, because that's where he did most of his work, along the Carolinas is where he did most of his raiding, hired someone to go after him with specific orders to kill him. It was just, that was it. He was enemy number one. He was to be killed, and that's it. And the person that went after him was a person by the name of John Maynard. And John Maynard was a captain of a ship, and much like Blackbeard, a pirate privateer, but he was still in the service of the crown, the British crown, that is. And it came upon that in November 22nd, I believe, 1718, he caught Blackbeard unaware of what, caught him in his cove. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Teach's Cove, or Teach's Hole, where they call it. And this was where he would dock, and this is where he would, hide his booty and everything else. And he caught him off guard on this day. He didn't have a full crew with him. He was changing crews, and he had a skeleton crew with him. And Maynard caught him off guard and slaughtered his crew, and ended up shooting him 5 times and stabbing him about 20 times. He didn't die easily, this guy. Blackbeard was a big, impressively strong constitution type of guy. So it wasn't easy to kill him. But he did succumb, and Maynard cut off his head. And it's said that, the story goes, that he took the head, bring it back to the governor, Spotswood, the governor of North Carolina. But they threw Blackbeard's body overboard of their own ship, and it is said that it immediately showed supernatural activity in that it swam. The body without the head swam around the ship 3 times before sinking and going into the water. So don't know about that, but that's pretty creepy. I don't know, how many accounts there were that said that happened, but it was multiple accounts that claim that happened on Maynard's crew. It could be just, again, the fear of Blackbeard, the fear that he had put out for so long, getting to people's psyche. But anyway, so that's what. So how does this turn into the ghost? So that's your first ghostly activity. Was actually when it happened, 1718, right after his death. His body is moving without its head. But since then, it is said that his ghost will haunt the this place called. It's off of Ocracoke Island. It's called Teach's Hole. This is, like I said, where he would have his dock, an area where he'd dock himself and hide his crew. I'll show you what it looks like. This is what the area in question looks like. Hold on, here we go. Hold on. This is where it is. It has a long brick pier here, a stone pier. A stone pier. In this beach, it's along this beach. It's a cove, right? It's where a ship would come in and dock over here. And it is said that his ghost still haunts this area. And there's actually a building there, not far, right on the beach, that is called Teach's Hole. And as you can see, here's what it looks like. Teach's Hole. You can go there and eat and drink, etc. And it's not far from the site where they say Blackbeard was beheaded. There's actually a cutout of Blackbeard right here, wooden cutout here. So it's said that his spirit haunts this place at night. Of course, always at night. And hold on. And it said that his spirit actually walks the beach at midnight looking for his head. So it is a headless spirit, a body without a head, walking the beach looking for his lost head. And it's said that in addition to that, the apparition, it's also said that there is a green light that will be seen under the water that will circle ships that are coming into this area, much like Teach's body circled Maynard's ship after he was dead. And this green light under the water will circle the ship 3 times and then vanish. And this happens every time a ship comes close enough to Teach's Hole. we get this account of this occurring. And some people even say that they hear Teach's voice over the winds at night, especially when it's a stormy night, when it's storm is coming in off of the ocean. They'll hear his voice calling out over the winds, saying, "Where's my head? Where's my head?" In that pirate accent, that British pirate accent. Now, whatever happened to his actual head there's another story, another theory or speculation as to what actually happened to his head. We know that the head was brought back to the governor, the Spotswood, and it said that he had kept it for many years, and that people would drink out of the skull. Now, how creepy is that? People drinking out of the skull. But it said that his skull was eventually given to a tavern keeper in Williamsburg, Virginia, who had encased it in silver, like put melted silver around it, and would use it in the bar as a special occasion to drink. People would drink from Blackbeard's skull. And there's been rumors with various fraternities from colleges that have said that they've had the skull and they've drank out of the skull, and that was one of their big things that they would do. But this was the last one. Lorraine, that was your last name? Oh, man. Yeah, well, it's listen, it's a famous name, right? It's a famous name, Teach. So and then the last it was heard was that the skull was given from the skull traveled, was sold from Williamsburg to the Peabody Essex Museum in Massachusetts, and that they have the skull, or what they believe to be the skull of Blackbeard. So who knows? But the ghost of Blackbeard is said to be specifically in this area, either swimming under the ships or walking the beach at night looking for his head and calling out, "Where's my head?" over the winds of a stormy night. So creepy stuff by a very famous person, Blackbeard. So of course, that would be, with such a folklore around him, of course that would be the case, that you'd have that. You'd have a ghost on it too, right? All right, now. So those are my 3 stories: Blackbeard's ghost, the demon dog, and the Stonebrook Inn. Right, Stonebrook? Yes, Stonebrook Inn. North Carolina, great place. Check it out if you want to. Cool stuff down there. I'd love to go and check out 3 of these locations and see if I see anything myself. So those are your 3 stories. Now, thank you for hanging out. Those that have hung out is appreciated, because now I want to go into my next phase of the show, which is the paranormal photograph and film type of stuff. Now, this photo I'm going to show you right now was submitted by Gerard Succelli. This was on his trail cam in his backyard. Now, this is really creepy. I'm preparing you for this one. This is really creepy. All right. And it's a little freaky too. It's a little freaky. So here it goes. Hey, Nick M. How are you? Hello, Butterfly. How are you? All right. Here we go. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. In the chat, of course. I want you to tell me what you think. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Hold on to your horses. Here it comes. Now, do you see this? This is a stump, a wooden stump. Now, do you see this ghostly figure here? Gerard is here. Good. I'm glad you're here. This ghostly figure, I have never seen a ghostly figure that's so clearly a woman than this picture. This is something else, this photo. This is really something else. I hope you can see what I'm seeing. Yes, Bobo, exactly. It looks exactly like a woman. Exactly like a woman. Now, there's no backstory to this. Gerard said he didn't know about anything. Yes, it does look like boobs. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Tony. Yes, it does, Tony the Night Owl. And there's no backstory. Like there's no tale about people dying over here. There's no, in his yard, in his backyard, nothing like that. He owns this property and he has a business, and he does, hunting stuff like that. So a little plug for Gerard. But yeah, he has it on Instagram, right? He put it on Instagram, but I don't know. I don't have an answer for this. I mean, this to me looks like a real ghost. To me, this looks like a real ghost that was not captured on the trail cam. A naked ghost, yeah. Yes, a naked ghost, yeah, yeah. And Butterfly, I told him that. I told him you got to research a little bit more and see what happened, or if anything happened around here, happened around this property. Go back, see if you could find anything. This is something that's pretty darn cool picture. I'll tell you. All right, so that is our submission from you guys. One of you guys submitted it. That's awesome, and I would encourage you, please, do that if you can. If you have something like that, please send it to me. I'd love to put it on the show. I think that's awesome. And I don't have an explanation for it. Gerard doesn't have an explanation for it. So you guys make your own judgment of what it is, but I think it's a spirit of a woman, obviously. So who knows? All right, so that was number one. Now, I want to show you this other. This is a clip that I got off of the internet. If you've looked, you've probably seen this. I don't know if you have, but I've seen it in multiple locations. But I pulled it off, and I want to get your opinion of it. Hello, Mike F. Hello, Cheech. How are you? I want to get your take on this. Let me know what you think about this. This is also creepy. So hold on here. Let me get it to the bottom here. Now, let me set it up. This is a night camera of a baby's bedroom. Like I remember when my kids were born, we had this baby monitor with a video on it. And that's what this is. This is a baby monitor with a video. And this is really creepy though. All right. Now you watch this and you tell me what you think. All right. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you as part of us. All right, let's go. Here we go. Hold on. Now, wait a minute. Look at this. Now I find the orbs from the Brookstone. Let me do that. No, I didn't find it. I'm wrong. Sorry. Sorry, I was wrong about that. Okay, here we go. Now this is the baby, right? He's sleeping. He's sleeping in his crib at night. Now watch what happens. I'm going to play this video. You tell me what you think. Do you think he is being dragged? That's the question. Do you think it looks like he's being dragged by an invisible hand? Now there's a loop here. I'm going to watch it again. And you tell me what you think. Look at this. Look at that. Do you think something pulled him in the crib? Do you think he's being pulled there? Or is he just kicking up? I don't know. I think he could be getting pulled. Or is he just kicking out and his legs and he's pushing with his arms? I don't know. Is he being dragged? I mean, that's if this was happening to my kid, I would be scared. Let's play some of it again. Hold on. Let's play it again just so you take a good look at it. Now, obviously, there's nothing there. Obviously, there's nobody pulling him. So if he is getting pulled, what is pulling him? I don't know. I don't know. I think he could be. It's possible that he could be. See that right there, where he like lifts him up. I don't think that's him pushing him. Where it lifts him kind of up. See that? It lifts him up. Hello, Marta. How are you? Emmanuel, I don't know. I don't know if there's any of that. So there you have it. I submit it for you. Submit it for your consideration, as they say, as uh, as Rod Sterling used to say. Hold on, let me stop sharing. All right. So how about that? That was pretty cool, right? I think that was pretty cool. I saw that and I said, I got to show this on the show. I got to play it on the show and see what everybody thinks. It's pretty convincing. You know, to me, it's pretty convincing, and it would be scary if it was my kid. I'd be really uneasy after seeing that. That's pretty creepy stuff. All right. So those were my stories, and those are my videos, and my pictures, my paranormal pictures, picture and video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Um, and as always, I say, please, send me if you have something, send me, or if anyone wants to tell a story, always open. My platform is always open to you to tell stories. So by all means, please do. Please let me know, and I'll be happy to have you come on up. We've already had a few people tell stories, and I'd love to hear more. If the ghost would give him a bottle, maybe yes, maybe if the ghost would give him a bottle, maybe the parents wouldn't be so scared. They'd probably be thankful, right? Oh, thank you, Bobo. Appreciate that. um, as Damien, as Damien from the Omen. Thank you, James. I'm glad you could join. I know this is way late for you, but I guess you're up with all that adrenaline from your show. So, or on the iPhone for the young parents. hmm Oh yeah, thanks, Tony. I'm trying to do that. Like I want this to be a little bit more than just my tales. I like telling the stories, obviously, but I like to just make it a little bit more interesting. So, and if people can send me stuff, please do, because you're helping me with the show, and and you can. Anyone who wants to send me something and talk about it, they can come on and talk about it too. Absolutely. That's perfectly fine. I'd love to have that. Bill C. Do some more research on Milton, Massachusetts. Yeah, I saw there's definitely stuff out there. I had written that down, but I didn't do anything because I was going in a different direction for this show. But I will. It's on my list, buddy. I will definitely look at it. So, yeah, that's definitely on the list. Well, thank you, plumbing. Appreciate that. Um, did you switch settings so that commercials show up while you're telling the stories? Mike F, I don't know. I put monetization on this video from the beginning. Usually I don't do that. Usually I do it after the live broadcast, but I put it on before. So maybe that's why it happened. I didn't know it was happening. I knew it would happen when you enter. I knew that. I knew it would happen. You see the couple of commercials and then you enter. But I didn't know it was happening in the middle of the story. I did not know that. Bridgewater Triangle is a really scary thing here south of Boston. Bridgewater Triangle. All right, let me write that down too. Bridgewater Triangle. All right. Tony and Bubba are talking about the ghost's bra size. Nuts. Criminal says, I had a friend once playing with, a Ouija board. Yeah, I don't go near Ouija boards. Yeah, that found him crushed behind the oak cabinet the next day. Oh, my Lord. That is not good. Oh, Slimity. Yeah, it's close to you, right? So you should definitely check that out if you can. And by the way, after this show, Slim is going live, so check him out. I always plug him after this. He's the 10 o'clock shift, so to speak. If you have nothing else to do, hang. He does a good show. Him and Cricket do a good show. I mean, him and Solitaire do a good show. Usually about music. So check them out. It's awesome. I usually check in after this, so please check him out. Slim Mini Cricket. Yeah, if you do that, film some stuff, Slim. Definitely film some stuff. See what you pick up if you find anything in that place, or if you experience anything. I'd love to hear it. Love to hear firsthand knowledge stuff. That's awesome. So just a reminder, guys, hit the like button, please. Here's another thing. If you could help me out, leave a comment on the video after, and let's see what happens. Stiggs tells me, and I've seen this in other commentators say this as well, that comments in the video after it's posted help push it out more. So check it out. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know let's try it. Do me a favor and just go in and leave a comment. I don't care what it is afterwards. It could be just leaving a number or a letter or something, or say hi or whatever. Let's see if we can get a lot of comments and see what happens. See if it gets pushed out. Children of the Corn originally was, the original one was pretty good. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, Gina, thank you for dropping Slim's. Thank you for dropping Slim's link. So check him out. Check the man out. I want to see if he gets anything on that Sasquatch cam he had a couple of weeks ago. He had something called the Sasquatch cam in his backyard. I was wondering if he picked up anything on that. Yeah, I don't play around with the Ouija boards. I don't do that. Lenny, I don't know, Lenny. I think Lenny was the guy. Lenny probably spent some time behind the wall in that hotel. That's where Lenny might have been. But he got this. I think he got this from Blackbeard, right, Bud? He got it from Blackbeard. Yeah, Cheech. So let's test it out. Let's see if anything happens. See if we get a lot of longer run of this afterwards. But I tell you guys, I really am thankful for all of you for your support and your subbing. I'm up to 2770 today. 2,770 subs. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. And I keep growing. So, people are telling folks, or people, I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a lot of subs lately. And I think a lot of it is from my Bible posts. I post a Bible verse each day, and it's the verses that I feel that are impactful. I don't just do it whatever I see. I read it first, and if it's something I feel has a lot of wisdom to it, I post it, and it seems to be getting me a lot of subs. So I'm going to continue to do that, and I like spreading the word, so to speak. So, but I want to thank you all for all your support. It's great. Is Lenny getting ready for football? Lenny is a good tight end, I think, but who knows? I don't know if he's going to play this year. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. You too. You too have a great weekend. But I tell you, we've had at least 20 people in this chat for the entire time, which is amazing. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. But next, like I said, next time I hope to have a new intro. I want to do a new intro. That one's getting old and stale. I want to do a new intro. And oh, and also check out my community page. I have the October lineup, which I think is pretty cool up there. Check it out. Every Friday in October, Halloween season, I have great stuff. I have an episode on Dracula, Ghost of Dracula, episode on Salem, Massachusetts. What else? I don't even remember what they are. And then the one before Halloween is the Sleepy Hollow, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Dracula. What else is there? There's another one. I can't remember what it is, but it's there. The lineup is there. Check it out. It's cool. Oh, werewolves, real life werewolves. So those are the four for the Halloween season. So check it out. I hope you join me for those. I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing those. So I'll hope to share it with you guys. Bill C, I can email you have for the information. I have those two sites only if they want. Yeah, no, absolutely. Email me. My email is on my page. I think it's the wine guild at Gmail. I think that's what, or something like that. ALV, the wine guild. Check it out. I don't remember what it is because I don't email myself, obviously, but it's there go to my page. It's there. The email is there. You can email me anything you got. I'll be happy to look at it and I'd appreciate it too. Oh, plumbing, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. Thank you for being here. It's awesome. I love seeing new people in the chat, and I love my loyalists too, obviously. But I like to see new people coming in too. That's great. Shows me that I'm getting out there and reaching new people. And this is all for you guys. It's all for entertainment. I like telling this and doing this, but it's really to hope you guys are having fun with it and enjoying it. Otherwise, what's the purpose? I'm just talking to myself. So anyway, that's it for tonight, guys. As always, I say, help me build the guild. Hit the like button. Leave that comment afterwards after I shut down. That'll be awesome. And as always, we'll do our ritual of blowing out the candles. But till then, I love you all and have an awesome week. I will see you again next Friday. As always, I say, stay scared. Have a great weekend. There's one. And there's two. Good night, everyone.